Recording in progress.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum, and a very good evening to everyone. Um, we will be starting the event in 10 minutes or maybe more, because I just spoke with some of our respected judges. They are stuck in traffic, heavy traffic. As soon as all the judges and most of our startups join, we shall start our program. In the meantime, yeah, let's network. If anyone would like to introduce himself or herself, please feel free to do so.
All right, so Assalamu alaikum to everyone. This is Azim Iqbal. I'm the founder of Think Connects, which is an IoT platform for development of IoT products and solutions. It's a software as a service. And we are a recent graduate from National Incubation Center, Lahore. And I'm also the founder and chairperson of Pakistan's Society of Industrial Engineers. It's a platform for the industrial engineering community of Pakistan, been operating since 2013. So really excited and looking forward to seeing all the pitches from the startups and looking forward to the event.
Thank you, Mr. Azim. Glad to have you here with us. Anyone else? Maybe Mr. Tanvir, would you like to introduce yourself or say a few words?
Sure, Fahim. Thank you very much. This is Tanvir. I've been in the IT industry for the last 25 years or so. I've got a good stint at Unilever Pakistan for 17 years. Worked at Engro for 7 years, and currently I'm engaged with the United Energy Pakistan in the oil and gas sector. In parallel, I've been a part of the startup ecosystem as an advisor to a couple of startups, as well as part of the angel investor. So it's commonly known as Tanvir, and generally IT industry know me as KTS. That's the short form of Khoja Tanvir Sadiq. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining. Anyone else? Maybe Mr. Ahmad Manzoor?
Hi, this is Ahmed Manzoor. How are you? Everybody, I hope everybody is good. Actually, I'm working out as well, so and you are not able to see me after this one, right? So, this is Ahmed Manzoor, and I have almost 22 years of experience in the IT industry, and mostly in networks. And most of you guys know me about the blockchain, with the blockchain introduction, and a person who is not into cryptocurrencies, he is in the blockchain technology. So that's what I'm doing these days, working on emerging technologies and everything. So that is me.
All right, thank you so much for keeping it really short. Yeah, and I would really encourage all the audience to open up your cameras, so we can we get to network and we get to see your beautiful faces. Maybe some of the startups, if you could open up your cameras, or if you want, you can also share a bit about your business, so it might be helpful for the judges later on. Okay, I see one camera is open.
Hello, Fahim. How you doing? Hope everything's fine. And hello, everybody. I believe if the introduction is going to go over here, that's going to ruin all the pitches. The excitement should be right over there, so that the pitches should
or
come
maybe
up.
you can just say hi, hello to.
Yeah. So I would be very
I get
much interested
it.
in connecting with everybody and all the judges. I'll try to find you on LinkedIn, and if you could specifically post in your LinkedIn URLs in the chat section, that would be very helpful.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna type in post in my LinkedIn, so
Yeah, sure.
everybody can
Sure,
add
feel
me
free
as
to
well.
do it. Yeah, I just hope that the rest of our judges can join on time. Thank you. Yeah, hello and good day,
Hi,
Mr. Anis.
everyone. Thank you very much.
Yeah, feel free to jump in and introduce yourself and say some encouraging words to our participants.
So my name is Anis Sheikh. Just like most of us here, I am an entrepreneur. I'm in Washington, D.C. right now, but I'm essentially from Karachi. I founded a company by the name Basic Technologies. And for that reason, I am in Washington right now. My company is one of the first, we believe, in the world to have made artificially intelligent news and content writer. And that's our essential project that we are doing. And I'm excited to see all these young and up and coming entrepreneurs of our country.
Thank you so much, Mr. Anis. Yes, so we have two more judges who just joined us, and it seems like we are going to start in 2-3 minutes. But before that, Miss Iram, would you mind introducing yourself to the panel?
Yeah, sure. This is Iram Abasi, and I am the Director for Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation Development, working under DHS of our University Karachi. And I'm also affiliated with many other associations, but it'll be too big of a list to say it here. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Miss, for keeping it short. And a final judge is Mr. Gajo Venka. If you could please say a few words to our participants. I hope you can hear us clearly. Okay, in the meantime, let me ask all the judges. I hope all the judges, you have your voting links, right? And you are able to access them?
Hello, do you hear me? Greetings from Belgrade. This is Gaio.
Oh, hey, yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, please go ahead.
Sorry, I had a small glitch with connection. First of all, thank you for inviting me for your startup event. I'm really keen to learn about your startup ecosystem, and what I can bring with myself is a long-term experience as an entrepreneur. I haven't been a serial entrepreneur like some people who in the past reached the stage of unicorn with their startup enterprises. Nevertheless, I was a business consultant who was involved with some unicorns in the past in Southeast, in Eastern and Central Europe. Currently, I'm appointed as the Chief Financial Officer of Fashion Union LLC, which is a clothing manufacturer from Serbia. We are generally export-oriented company, and we export to countries of West Europe, Western Europe, and of course to South America as well. Additionally, I'm a Chief Operating Officer of fintech startup enterprise from the UK, where I generally serve in leading operations as well as business development for the startup company. We are a trading platform for stocks and bonds. And what really differentiates us amongst the competitors is that we have a platform that skips numerous advisors, portfolio managers, equity analysts, and gives them the in-depth insight before choosing the proper stocks and bonds. So we help them to differentiate their portfolio of stocks. So additionally, I'm Chief Executive Officer of Serbian Management Association, which is a think tank organization from Serbia and Montenegro. We generally serve to attract foreign direct investments in the region, and of course organizing various panels and for business forums on various topics from startups, fintech, compliance, banking and finance industry. So that would be pretty much of all what I do. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you
for enlightening us. All right, any judges, if you haven't reached your voting links, or if you have any trouble accessing it, can you please let me know so I can fix it? If it's okay, can you please give us a thumbs up sign?
Fahim, where is the voting link? Basically, I'm unable to see that in the email, and also where is the voting process?
I have sent you, right, the voting process in the email. Let me maybe I can send you in the box. Just give me one moment.
Please. Well, I've received the email that has the Zoom link, but I haven't received anything on the voting link.
Yes, I have sent you in the chat box. You should be able to access it. Okay, so if all the judges have their voting links, I guess we can start with the presentation. Just give me a quick thumbs up sign, maybe. So I'll make sure that everybody is ready. Okay, great.
Fahim, could you kindly go up with the?
All right, yeah, let's start with our very first team. I think is, sorry, team digital tax service. Guys, can you please share your screen?
Yes, so can everybody see my screen?
Yes, we all can see your screen.
So you want me to start?
Yes, so yeah, you have like 3 minutes to present your idea, and judges will be asking you some question regarding your business models. So yeah, whenever you're ready.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum. I'm Nasser, co-founder and CEO of DTSL. It's a global problem.
Yes, go
Everybody
ahead.
hates taxes.
Feel free if you're ready.
So it's a global problem. Everybody hates taxes. The challenges are good advice is hard to find. Almost everyone uses paper-based records, and for businesses, compliance with the tax law is really tough. Can we solve these problems in a country as large as complex as Pakistan? At DTSL, we can. We've partnered with Untitled Chartered Accountants to develop 3 verticals to manage taxes, small business accounting, and for larger businesses, ERP. In a large country like Pakistan, there are only 3 million tax filers. This is a massive opportunity to help simplify their lives. We have come a long way since it was an idea. We raised 2 rounds of angel funding. We partnered with Yusuf Adil, Deloitte Pakistan at that time. We integrated with FBR. We launched our tax app, and we joined the National Incubation Center. We are now looking ahead. We have a clear vision of how we will implement across products, regions, and channels. Our B2C strategy will be ad-driven, primarily digital, with support from an army of franchisee tax assistants. Our B2B, we are building alliances with corporates and institutions. And on B2B2C, we will engage the existing tax professionals to help them scale up for the expected demand growth using our app. We are very conservative, targeting to capture less than 2% of the total market over a 4 to 5 year horizon. We have a dynamic and detailed financial model, and we expect to break even in our 3rd year. Looking at the competition, there is a firm offering legal and tax services on its website, bFiler. Their model doesn't scale well due to its reliance on manual processing. The vast majority of the market is served by traditional tax advisors, and their model is also not scalable. So we feel we have the advantage. Our technology, our alliances, and our delivery expertise are in place. We have the right team, right products, and right strategy. Clearly, given the government's ever-increasing focus on taxes, the time is now. I've been a tech entrepreneur all my life. My companies have launched one of the first ISPs in the country, developed an ERP system for the Pakistani market, and we support clients in 3 continents, serving multiple industry verticals. Our Chief Operating Officer, Faraz, has a diverse track record as a banker and management consultant. His assignments including Head of FI at UBL and Head of International at ABL. Our Chief Commercial Officer, Umar, is a leading strategy and marketing professional with a high-profile engagements including Director Marketing at Kareem and Chief Marketing Officer at Grana.com, and assignments at Reckitt Benckiser, Johnson & Johnson, and Novartis. Thank you. Please contact us directly to learn more about DTSL. Any questions?
Thank you so much. Great presentation. And yeah, 10 seconds before 3 minutes. So yeah, judges, feel free to ask questions.
Nasir, congratulations. Great idea.
Thank you.
One thing that I would like to ask you is what is your stage of the development for your startup? Have you finished your product right now? Is it prototype? Do you have clients? Are you already in the market? What stage are you at?
So we have launched our tax filer for the individuals, and we had some traction in the last tax season. So our main product is ready, launched and tested. And now we are working on all the other products, as you can see on the screen, that we plan to deliver over the next 2-3 years.
Yeah, and Nasir, one question regarding what is the extent of integration with FBR that you mentioned in your presentation?
So the FBR, their IT wing PRAL, the company that manages the technology, we have done sandbox testing for tax filing with them, and just we are waiting for the final go ahead to connect to their live data. So the
And
integration testing sandbox is done. It's just a matter of launching it.
and what has been the feedback from FBR? What is the risk level there in getting the go ahead from FBR?
For the sandbox testing, we did we had to meet the criteria of all the right calculations and all the right putting in the data in the right field. So we did all that, and now we hope to have maybe within a month or two the final connectivity to actually connect to the real data.
So which would mean, Nasir Saab, that after 2 months, we will be able to file our taxes through your app.
You can still file your taxes through our app, but it's a sort of a robotic process automation and a manual combination of process. But after the integration, it will be end-to-end digital.
Okay, so all you need is your app after you are integrated with FBR, and that's all you need.
Yes, the customers will just need to log into our app and punch in all the data. You can even try our app today. Trying it is
I
free of
intend to.
cost. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi
Yes,
there.
Daniel.
Thank you, Fahim. Hi there. Really interesting presentation. I like when they're short as possible. Nevertheless, my question will be focused about your target market. Can you give us more insight about it? And additionally, who are your direct competitors in the region and, of course, on the markets where you're planning to entry? Thank you.
So in Pakistan, currently there are 3 million tax filers according to the latest numbers by Federal Board of Revenue.
Okay.
So those are our target market, and the FBR and the government is working to add 15 million more people. So that will take the total market approximately to 18 million in the next coming 2-3 years. So that is our target market. Those are basically individuals, but we also plan to target small businesses and of course some level of medium-sized businesses as well. The next question was the competition.
Yes.
So direct competition, only one company, BFiler, they are providing online tax return filing service. And the rest of the competition is the traditional accounting and tax practitioners, the advisors and the lawyers. So they are all manual based, not end-to-end digital like we plan to be.
Thank you very much for your answer to my questions. Good luck.
Nasir, just last question. We know the market in Pakistan is generally being driven by this accounting and tax practitioners.
Yes.
Out of the 3 million, I don't think so. Okay, there's a huge number of people who are doing the filing on their own. They are actually dependent on those tax practitioners. Whereas
Yes.
the particular model is more like a do-it-yourself sort of a thing, wherein you provide an app and you make it digital, you make it easy, and you make it make them do the work. So how does this particular fit in your consumer strategy? Like, how will you be moving the people away from the tax advisors and making them use this app for that?
So for the Generation Z, they are more the upcoming new tax filers. They are more comfortable with doing them themselves and using the apps. So that is one aspect. The other aspect is that the government, as I said, plan to increase the current tax base by many folds. And the current tax practitioners and filers, they don't have the capacity to handle all of that. So somebody will have to come in and handle those people. And lastly, we have a tax assistant model, as you can see. It is sort of a similar model like H&R Block in US, where there are individuals who help people file tax returns, but they don't need to know the tax law because our app will handle all of that. So it's a combination compensation strategy of being partnering with existing people, creating new employment, and waiting for the new tax filers who are coming now in the market.
And you don't see Pral themselves becoming your competitor because they can launch up their any app at any point in time.
If you look at the global landscape, nowhere in the world government has provided services to compete with the private enterprises. And we provide advisory services, we provide help. Pral can't do that. So they can provide a good app, yes, but they can't provide the advisory and the help that we provide by partnering with the use of other chartered accountants. And as I said, globally, nobody has done it. No government has provided such an app that no business, private businesses do not have an opportunity.
Thank you very much, Nasir.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's all the time we have for you. Once again, great presentation. Thank you so much for answering all the questions. Judges, please mark the second startup. This is the second one. The first one isn't present yet. The name of the startup is Digital Tech Service. You can mark them in the website. As you're marking, allow me to introduce I think it's the fourth startup. The third startup isn't here yet. So we're gonna move on and jump into the fourth startup. Forgive me if I mispronounce the name of your startup, which I think is Breathe.
Can you hear me? I'm here. Let's take it. Third number.
Oh, sorry. Livestick, you're here, right? Okay, we'll go with Livestick first. You can start sharing your screen.
Sure.
Right, great. Can you make it full screen for us, please? Okay, great. The judges, if you're ready, please give me a thumbs up sign and we can proceed with the second startup. Perfect. So yeah, floor is all yours.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rashid Ali. I'm the founder and CEO of Livestick. Actually, I'm a content creator and I make my content with my smartphone. The main problem I face is like I had to buy and carry multiple gadgets like tripod, selfie stick, light, and mics, etc. And the main problem I face is the voice recording problem when I am away from the smartphone. So since I'm a mechanical engineer, I have developed Livestick. It's a world first 6-in-1 gadget with a live mic for creators. Let me show you the demo. This is Livestick. Just you open its legs, it becomes a tripod, and you can extend it up to 26 centimeters. And it has a light to capture good video quality, and it has Bluetooth remote to click pictures. An important thing it has is this tiny wireless mic. It can clearly record your video, sound, or voice over the range of 20 meters. So it's a 6-in-1 gadget for creators. Creators like YouTubers, bloggers, influencers, journalists, and business professionals too. So our creator economy market size is $105 billion with 50 million creators around the globe. And our SOM is around $5 billion. So we have sold 1,200 units of Livestick variant 1, and we have generated $25,000 in revenue. Our MRR is $3,000. We have developed the Livestick 2.0, and it's ready for mass production. And we have made 12 partnerships with like 6 TV channels in Pakistan currently using Livestick as a reporting gadget, and we have made other partnerships with companies to introduce Livestick as a Livestick for business professionals. So our competition is with like Xiaomi, Huawei, Anker, Aki, but the main difference between us and them is that they are 3-in-1 mostly, and we are 6-in-1, but none of them is providing the live mic, a tiny wireless mic. But our product has a different variation, almost 5 variations with simplest to like pro and like this different variations like this. So our growth plan is like to launching Livestick 2.0 and introducing Livestick for business, Livestick for corporates as a work from home gadget, and importantly Livestick for journalists. We have observed so far in Pakistan currently many TV channels are using Livestick as a reporting gadget. So we have generated 25,000 US dollars in revenue in 2021, and we are willing to close 2 funding rounds in next 2 to 3 years, and will be generating up to $50 million in revenue by expanding to other global markets. This is our team. I'm the inventor of Livestick, and I'm a mechanical engineer with my co-founders, Mushtaq as CFO and Mustafa as a CMO. We have both technical and non-technical co-founders with the 10 years of relevant industry experience. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and right on time as well. All right, who would like to go first? Floor is open.
Rashid, I have a question. You have mentioned your competitors who do not necessarily have all 6 capabilities in their stack. But is there a barrier to entry? I mean, do you have a patent to the effect that can, stop them from having this feature in their stack?
Yeah, at this time, we have filed a provisional patent in Pakistan. We have filed trademark for our brand, but when we expand globally or raise any funding round, external funding round, we have to file a global patent to protect this in other countries or regions.
So at this point, they can go ahead and include all these features that you have in their product, and there's nothing you would be able to do because they can, of course.
Yes, still the thing that will differentiate us from them is our business model. Like we are introducing Livestick for business and a Livestick for journalists. Still, we have, if they can copy 100% our product, we have a plan to go to the market like different from others.
Also, how much is it costing you to make? What are your margins?
So it has like 5 variation. The simplest the final variant, pro variant 6-in-1 cost us $22, and our landing cost is around $37, and we sell it at $59.
Okay, Rashid, there's just one thing, like the very first variant of this, which I believe is of $17. In terms of capability, that $17 device of yours is also offering 6-in-1?
No, it's actually 3-in-1, a simplest variant.
So the comparative analysis that you have shown here doesn't apply, right?
Yeah, in
because
that case,
all others are also $17, $18, and yours is the same. So what is what is your USP then?
Our USP is like for the full variant, that 6-in-1, because we have observed that our customers want that simplest variant too because of low price.
Okay, and in terms of this cost of $59, which is the final version, like in terms of what is the mass level that you have planned for the manufacturing of this? Because that cost will come down if there's a mass production, if you go global.
Yes, we have partnered with largest selfie sheet manufacturer in China with a production capacity of 1.8 million units per month. So if we go for even and 50,000 units production level at when we expand globally, we are expecting our unit price from $22 to $17 or $16 ex-factory price.
And in that case, your break even will be coming up in which year?
We are expecting it in 2024.
Okay. Thank you. No more questions from my side.
Mr. Ahmad, you raised your hand before. Do you have any question, Mr. Ahmad Manzoor?
Yeah, actually that is already covered, which actually I was talking about their pricing and how they got the survey in Pakistani market actually. So that's my question. So like $59 if they are asking for it. So that is quite like expensive for 6.6 right?
Yes.
That's what I'm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why we have separated into different variants because of our market demands. In Pakistan, usually customers want a cheap thing. That's why we have divided into different variants. We are offering them instead of live mic. Since live mic is a expensive one, we have introduced this blog mic. It's like for $3 only. So it's a cheap solution for these markets, and that one is for $59. It's for the market where it can be affordable, like in Europe and America side.
Okay, Ms. Iram, you can go next. You're muted.
Iram, you are mute.
Yeah, sorry. So my question was is partially answered relating to the prices. The second part of my question is that how are you going to compete on the quality? And secondly, you said that you have sold X number of sticks so far. So was that the $59 category or was it the $17 category?
No, we have launched the first one in a plastic that is 3-in-1, and but with the optional this light or a blog mic, but we haven't launched this small tiny burst mic. So yes, we have launched the first one in a plastic yet, but we haven't.
Okay, so that means you have so far sold the first version, that is the 3-in-1.
Yes.
Okay.
We have
how are you, other than the price, how are you comparing the quality of your product than the Huawei or the big names?
As I communicated earlier, we cooperate with same manufacturer. Our competitors and us, Xiaomi or Huawei or us, cooperate with the same manufacturer. That is world largest manufacturer with a production capacity of 1.8 million units per month. So we have the same quality as they have.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. A final question, Mr. Kaja, if you have anything you would like to ask.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Hi, Rashid. Really lovely presentation. You put almost everything in a couple of slides. Nevertheless, I'll be short because we're don't have much time for the Q&A. My question, I mean, many questions were already answered, but my question would be more what generally interests all the investors who would like to be involved within your project. Did you get any value from participating in incubation and acceleration programs? Did you get some accomplishments within? And of course, what value did they brought on the table, like mentorship, connecting you with investors, and of course, financial support? Did you were you connected with some of the investors, and have you raised so far as well? Would be my additional question to the first one. So just try to encompass your answer within these two questions and give us more detail about your investment attractiveness. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. So at this time, we haven't yet raised any external funding. We are still bootstrapping. However, in Pakistan, we have been part of a few incubation programs. At this time, our target is to get access into some global accelerator, like we are in the second stage of accelerating Asia. It's currently in process. We have also applied to YC for batch YC S22. That is the early deadline is today. So we are trying to secure the funding from accelerators at our first priority, and we are also looking to close our seed round from global VCs. So we are like more likely to a global brand. So it's more suitable for us to attract global VCs and global funding, and expand globally. So there's our future plans.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. That's all the time we have for you, team. Livestick, great presentation.
Thank you.
Right, we're moving on to the next startup. But before that, I would like to remind all the judges to mark for a score for startup 3. The name of the next startup is Breathe.io. Sorry if I mispronounce your startup name, but yeah, you may share your screen and we can start your presentation shortly.
Yeah, just give me a second. Okay.
Sure.
I hope everybody can see the presentation, right?
Yes, we can. But before starting, let me just ask all the judges if you're able to mark the previous startup, and if you're all ready, please give me a thumbs up sign.
Yeah, there were no problems. Easy as much as possible. Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah, you may begin.
Thank you. So 8 million is not the amount of money that I'm going to make. It's actually the number of people that die every year. And why do they die every year? They die of bad air quality. According to WHO, the world population is reaching almost at 7.8 billion, and 90% of the world population is living under air quality conditions that do not meet their guidelines, which results in 8 million deaths every year. Can you imagine 8 million people dying every year? Now, the fascinating thing about that is that 3.2 million people die because of outdoor air quality, yet 4.8 million people die because of indoor bad air quality. So that which is supposed to protect us, our house, is actually becoming quite a killer in that regards. So in Pakistan, let alone 300,000 children are affected from respiratory diseases per year due to poor air quality. And this is a citation by Aga Khan University itself, and it's their research data. Now, where does our company come in? Our company comes in creating products that incline the environment for the well-being and longevity of human life on Earth. Think of it like making an elixir of life. Once upon a time, somebody drank something from elixir of life, a water fountain, and now they're still alive, according to some stories. But I believe that our lifespans can be increased based on technology. So how is Breathe.io doing that? Breathe.io has introduced a smart air purification and a monitoring system that utilizes the power of artificial intelligence and machine learning to reduce and control the air pollution. How do we do that? Our device is equipped with sensors that take a reading up to 8 different facets of sensors. In those sensors, all that reading is being stored on the AWS cloud, and that is where the data gets analyzed in regards to it. Every 15 to 20 minutes, we get a reading, and our data, using the machine learning algorithm, we're able to detect anomalies such as mold in your house, such as seepage in your house, such as changes in environment, changes in air density in your house. And even in some cases, because we are detecting CO2, we have been able to detect fires in the house as well, based on the concentration and a specific signature to the fire in that context. As moving forward, you can use it using an app, and it's available on Android and Play Store as well. So if we talk about traction, our Qaid, the founder of Pakistan, he said there are 2 things in the world that are very powerful, and that is the power of the pen and the power of the sword. And there's a third thing that is even more powerful than that, is the power of the woman. We are a woman-led company, and our CEO, Sana Numan Chaudhary, she has been cited as an industry leader who's also breaking stereotypes as women founders in Pakistan as well. We represented in Pakistan in the Pakistan Expo, Dubai Expo, and we were shortlisted among 400 companies in Pakistan, among the top 20, and also in GITEX Dubai as well. We've got, as you can see on the awards on the right hand side, we've been cited under the Impact Directory of Pakistan as well. We've been cited, nominated, and the SAC University. We're also a graduate of Draper. And this is us presenting at GITEX Future Stars, shortlisted by the Trade Development Authority in Pakistan. Moving forward, this is the traction. We signed up an MOU with University of the Punjab, and we're contributing back to the community by teaching our skills to other students and helping more people become startups as well. If we talk about our market growth, in 2018, the market closed at $7.15 billion, and by 2027, it will become a $20 billion market. That's a 2.8x market growth for the air purification, and that's cited in NASDAQ Global Newswire. So what we're targeting is in 5 years, just 700,000 devices to be sold in 5 years. And that results in a $50 million revenue in the next 5 years. So this is just 0.05% of the global market penetration. So it's far more easier. And that's just targeting 20%, because targeting 90% of the world population, that's a very big thing. But that really shows us and puts up the standard that we're the next unicorn. So watch for it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, your time has expired.
Yeah, thank you.
It's a little bit over 3 minutes. Yeah. So judges, yeah,
that's our team.
You can raise your hand and you can go first. Yeah, Mr. Gadjo, followed by Mr. Kawaja.
Hi, Mohammed. Really great presentation. I'm really sorry you didn't have time to complete it. Nevertheless, I think you managed to complete everything what's important for the investors and us as the judges to do the grading. What my question would concern is generally the traction, which generally as your prototype is not yet perceived. Nevertheless, I have followed on the website your finance structure, speaking about the revenue generation and forecast for the next 5 years. Can you give us some more insight about your pricing scheme for the product, for the software on yearly, quarterly, monthly, and of course, hardware cost basis? And of course, your sales forecast for each year. What is your demand generation and what kind of a methodology did you use to achieve such figures? That would be generally my question. Thank you.
Thank you, Gajo. That's quite a couple of questions. I'll try to answer it in precise because of the time.
Take your time, one per one. Don't hurry.
Okay. So the first thing is I'll just go by in accordance to kind of like connecting one point to another. So that kind of answers all your queries as well. Regarding our traction, we were able to sell around 200 3D printed of these devices in the last approximately 1 year, which resulted us setting up our own assembly line in Pakistan, because 3D printing is a very slow process. One enclosure, it kind of takes like a week to get it printed up. So we got the injection mold, we got the assembly line set up. And our assembly line is going to be up and operational by 1st March. And in the first 2 weeks of March, I mean, we're going to be able to produce around 20,000 devices per month in that regards. And previously tracking on the 200 devices that we sold as early adopters, 3D printed, we have a query of around 2,500 plus orders that are right now pending in that regards, which we recently exhibited in GITEX in Dubai, twice in Dubai Expo. And there we were able to secure an initial order of 1,000 devices to be used in Qatar. That is, they're going to be deploying it as a test basis in schools, where they'll be monitoring the air quality parameter of the classrooms where children are coming to study. And they wanted the open API in that regard, so they could take up the data that is coming from our device and plug it into their own application as well. Now, that query in that regards, because they wanted to go into an OEM aspect, and they were interested in approximately like 50,000 devices in that regards. But I mean, still with respect to that, when you go slow, it's far more better. No hurdles in that regards. So I hope that kind of sums up and answers everything. If I've missed something, just ask me again.
No, you were really thorough. My question would be generally considered about the your device. Is it also a humidificator, or it's just generally just for air cleaner?
You see this? My blur effect is on. Let me just kind of turn it off, and I'll show you the device as well.
Okay.
Video settings. Where is the blur?
So I know that Tesla, for example, here
in the video, go to the video section, you find the blur.
Yeah, I'm just checking it out. I think it was the background and the filters. Yep.
So I know, for example, that Chinese Xiaomi is also providing something like a combination of these two, or it's just it's beautiful and it's really small one. I really like it.
Yeah, it's supposed to be portable. That's the thing.
Yeah, because we have some Chinese here in our offices, and they're I think like 4 times bigger than yours.
Yes, exactly. And that does put up a question, because a lot of people ask is, will it able be to be cover, will it able be to cover all the area that is required for specifically? So these devices are much capable to cover around 300 square foot to around 1000 square foot area of any room in that regards.
That's really, that's
that
really
is,
great. That's
you know,
really impressive. I think you have a really competition answer to the global needs. So I all the luck for your endeavor, and of course I wish you great success with your product and your company. So
thank you very much.
Looking forward to interact. Thank you.
Thank you, Bilal. I think it was a nice presentation, quick and fast. Just 2 questions. One is you mentioned about the assembly line. Yes, that has already been established in Pakistan. So what is the capacity of that, and whether you will be doing some upgradation on that, or it's all there for as far as your target of 700,000 devices that you're planning to sell?
Initially, the assembly line is set up in Pakistan, Lahore, in Sundar Industrial Estate. You must be familiar with that area. And we have around, right now, the initial capacity based on the machinery, we have around 20,000 devices per month.
Okay, so there's no, you don't plan any upgradation in the assembly plant, and you feel that it will be able to meet your break even and as well as the future aspiration?
I mean, one can always procrastinate and kind of fascinate with the bigger amounts, you know, but I just believe just go slow, one thing at a time. So once we reach a cap, you know, once we reach a limit, and I know there would be a hiccup in that regards, but then upgrading that assembly line would be much more of a sensible option, because, you know, hardware startups thinking of a hardware aspect, every step adds up a cost to everything. You know that.
Okay, okay. Let me ask the same question the other way around. What is your current runaway plan?
Our current runaway plan, we are fine for the almost approximately for the next 1 year in that regards, because the profit margin ratios are really kind of manageable in that regards to keep in context.
Good. Thank you, Bilal. No more questions.
Okay.
Mr. Anis, you can have the final question.
Congratulations, Bilal. Excellent idea, excellent execution. A few basic questions. The device that you're making, how much is it costing you, and how much are you selling it for? And secondly, who has designed this device? I see that you're a software engineer, also a hardware engineer. Have you designed the hardware itself?
Okay. So the first question is, we don't believe in business secrets. I'm really open about it. So if somebody wants any help with anything in regards to whatever architecture we've designed, we're certainly able to help you out with that as well. This device costs us around $35 to $40 when we're talking in batches of around like 100 devices. But when we go up like approximately, you would say 5,000 plus devices, we put a price order, we can approximately play with the round cost around $25 to $30 per device in that regards. And everything that you see, let me just show you the design. It's already under patented. Okay, it's under provisioning with the help from SMEDA in Pakistan, Small Medium Enterprise Development Authority. It's everything is in a house. You know, if I like kind of dismantle this thing and kind of show you how it kind of goes by, and the HEPA filter, which has an H12 HEPA filter, antibacterial layer on top of it, a carbon activated layer inside it, and the circuits, our custom PCB, our firmware, our AWS cloud, our mobile app for Android and iOS, all has been done in house. So the only thing we had to outsource was the injection mold. We can't do that. I'm sorry, we can't do that injection molding thing.
How much are you selling it for again?
Oh, okay. So we're selling it for Pakistan. We're selling it around $70 to $99. Now the variation in the price is based on the amount of square foot that you require. Initially starting up with 300 square foot, 600 square foot, and 1,000 square foot device, because the changes happen based on the RPM of the fan. You know, the fan has to change because the 300 square foot fan revs up to around 10,000 RPM. Your car engine cuts at around 7,000 RPM. And then the 600 square foot goes at around 15,000 RPM. And then the 1,000 square foot goes around 20,000 RPM. And that certainly doesn't have to say that it has to stay at these RPM speeds all the time. It varies intelligently based on how the environment is giving the data in regards to it.
All right, great. Well, great presentation. That's all the time we have for you. Once again, congrats. And yeah, moving on.
Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody.
You're welcome. The next team, just a reminder to our judges, team 5 isn't here at the moment, so we're gonna jump off to team 6, the EPO.com. They're already ready, and they're already here, and they are ready to pitch. If you could please share your screen.
Sure. Hi, everyone. Assalamualaikum. This is Aruba Tayyab. I am the CEO and founder of the EPO.com, which is a B2B procurement platform. So let's start with the introductions. I have been
wait, just a minute. Let me just quickly ask the judges if they're. Yeah, I believe some of them are marking. Yeah, let me just wait for their thumbs up sign so we can get on with your presentation.
Sure.
Yeah, I think everybody is ready. So yeah, you can start, and you can start from the beginning.
Great. So this is Aruba Tayyab. I'm the CEO and founder of EPO.com, which is a B2B procurement platform. I hold 21 years of experience working in different corporate sector, which includes Coca-Cola, Tetra Pak, Anglo Foods, Fatman Group. And then I started my own business of offline procurement 5 years ago. And transitioning the offline procurement into an e-procurement system is what EPO. So the problem that we've seen is that there's a lot of conventional processes which are happening in every department and every organization. So we wanted to go for B2B trends, digitizing all of the processes that we could. Since I've been working on the procurement side, so we took up the lead in making supply chain effective and a seamless procurement experience for all the organization at any stage of growth. Moving on, this is the solution that we are providing to all of the clients. This is the conventional process where all of the companies, the procurement managers, they have to search for the relevant B2B accredited vendors. They have to see the products and data analysis in that, and then they obtain the pricing and inventory data in order to create a comparative analysis and negotiate the payment terms, and that they face the rejections due to the quality concerns as well. Now, EPO process, this conventional process is going to take you 5+ days. But the EPO process, where we are providing you with access to pre-qualified B2B accredited vendors with all the data, with their real-time pricing, with the inventory and stock available in the platform. And moving on, the global standard operating procedure, where every firm who's making a purchase in the organization, they have to have a comparative analysis based on what they have to assign one of the vendors that they want to place an order with. Now we have predefined payment terms in the portal that we have. Then we have pre-delivery quality checks. This entire process is going to be quicker, convenient, transparent, automated, auditable, and a SaaS model. The market opportunity globally, as we see, this is a $15 trillion industry at the moment, and it is growing 15% annually. And if we look at Pakistan, we have seen that $46 billion tax has been filed by 298,000 entities, which is growing by 5%. This is the roadmap for EPO. We started with Bring It On in 2018 from offline procurement. We have almost 280 clients there who are transitioning to EPO, which is an online procurement portal. Then we are aiming to go to become an e-distributor. And then we want to launch our portal in different countries globally, because this is the same standard operating procedure which is being followed everywhere. The competition, well, there are two major competitors who are available, Khadeed and Tijari. And, I would not include SAP and Oracle because, they are the procurement tools which are available here in Pakistan, and, all the firms are using that. The current operating model says that, we are bringing clients, we are bringing accredited vendors on board. We are charging subscription fee from both vendors and clients, but we have given 1-year freemium model to all of the vendors because we are working on a transformational idea where there is no portal available, where all the B2B accredited vendors are there with their pricing, with their real-time data. So this is why we are providing freemium model to them. These are some of the categories that we are dealing in. So we are starting off with journal procurement, but we do intend to go into specialized procurement. And we have just introduced one raw material on board with us. We also explored that, we can charge commissions margins on every transaction that is happening through the EPO.com. But after once we've been placed smart contracts, because, there are so many parties involved in one transaction in order fulfillment. So we are waiting in the phase 2 that we can in place smart contracts, and then we can start charging the commissions as well. This is our ask. We are raising seed money at the moment, and our MVP is ready. There are 10 clients who are already using it, and there are 271 clients who are transitioning to this platform. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, please ask.
All right, great. Right on time, team Q.com. Great presentation. I see Mr. Tanvir has already raised his hand, so you can go first, followed by Mr. Anis.
Thank you, Aruba. I think it was a good presentation, and not a very novel idea, but I think it must have got some strong USP. So what I think, as you have also mentioned in your competition list, there are certain global and the local players already available. So what is your niche? Why should we go for EPO?
So in Pakistan, there is no platform which is available with the pre-qualified suppliers, with the product listing, with the inbuilt system from purchase requisition till invoice. As I mentioned earlier as well, that SAP and Oracle, they are in place with all or mostly firms, but at the same time, they're the procurement tools where there's a lot of conventional process which is happening, and the digitization takes a lot of time. So we wanted to build up this platform. And since I have been working for 21 years in the procurement space, I understood and I sat down with a lot of other procurement managers to understand what is their requirement and how would they like to achieve a paperless environment. So that's how we differ from the other ones.
And Aruba, in terms of integration with the different ERPs that the people are using in their organization already, someone might be using Oracle, someone SAP. So what is the integration bit is managed?
Yeah, so in another 3 months, what we're doing is that we're integrating our product with the internal ERPs. We have already checked that we are already in communication with the firms because, they wanted to have a seamless procurement experience so that they can get their invoices in their finance module in whatever ERP that they're using. So as you can see in front of you, the ERP integration is next in line, and then we have authority metrics as well. Then we have video conferencing as well, because we wanted that, due to COVID, people do not want to physically interact with each other. So we have introduced a video conferencing integration in this in order to have a really great customer services experiences for all our B2B clients.
So as of now, there are no connectors available with any leading ERPs in place in Pakistan.
No, yes, they are available, but we haven't started doing that because since this is something which we are taking from a conventional to a digitization process, so it's taking there are a lot of barriers.
Sorry. I think I might not be able to communicate my question correctly. Let me ask again. My question is, do you have connectors available for leading ERPs which are currently has got a stall base in Pakistan?
Not as yet.
Not as yet, exactly. Secondly, the last question where I'll pass on to the floor to the other people. In terms of the having the integration with the global suppliers, for example, will we have the interface to interact with the suppliers from China using this portal?
Yes, we can. So that is also in plan. So we can bring all the international vendors on board on this platform to open the doors for all the companies who want to do the foreign procurement from this platform too.
But they won't be having as part of the same thing. Do we get that flexibility to have the, if suppose you want to buy, for example, a laptop, so will I be able to get the quotations and from suppliers out of Pakistan and you're going to recommend me, it has got some AI routines or something or no?
Yes. So at the moment it doesn't, but you have all the local distributors available at the moment.
Thank you. No more question, please.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Anis, followed by Mr. Hosnain.
Congratulations, Aruba. Great execution so far. My question is, if as a distributor, I log into your system, is there a verification or authentication process that you go through, or anybody can log in, pay the portal or pay your service and become a distributor or a seller on your portal?
No, there is a complete process that we follow. We focus on bringing those vendors on board who are focusing on corporate and social responsibility. We want to bring all those vendors who are tax registered vendors, because all the clients, they look for all tax registered suppliers on board. And after that, there is a due diligence process. Once they have completed that, they have gone through our terms and conditions, then we issue the logins to those suppliers.
There
Does
is
that
a
answer your
manual
question?
process. Yeah, so there is a manual process actually behind this digital platform. So, how taxing it is in terms of resources, time, money.
Well, since it is a completely transformational thing, it is taking up a lot of time in order to convince the vendors to come on board on a B2B platform to serve the B2B community through this digital process. So it's taking up a lot of time. As far as my experience tells, it took me lesser time in Karachi, but it is taking me a lot of time in Punjab. So that conventional process has to go through by us, because we need to ensure all of the availability of the vendors on this platform for the organizations.
So it's going to be a huge problem when you go international, because then you need to have local expertise, intelligence, people who are working in specific cities and industries.
I did not understand your question. Can you come again?
Okay, if you scale to another country like where I am right now, US, you need to have local partners, people with intelligence of the market who can verify each and every vendor.
Of course. So in every country that we want to scale up to, we have to do this entire process again. But the great thing was that, when I've built the MVP, I took it to a few firms in UAE, in US, and UK, and I have gotten their feedback that, how would they like it if this product is launched over there. So they've really, really encouraged us to bring this product over there, but we're focusing on Pakistan first, and then inshallah, we will move forward. Thank you.
Mr. Hosnain?
Hi, thank you very much. Great presentation. One of our judges asked the same question, I believe. That was basically the integration with the external ERPs. Basically, we refer them to external catalogs, right? If I'm not wrong. So
Yes.
maybe if you can make something like external catalog, and I think that the compatibility should be very seamless, because the compatibility of the ERPs with the procurement with the external catalogs is very easy. You just need an XML file. You make the communication between the any website, any e-commerce website. You add their items in the cart, and that cart will be added into you. You mentioned about something like request for quotation. So I know it goes through the purchase requisition to request for quotation to the purchase order process. So let's say that you have made the compatibility with the external, like you have the external catalog, right? You have the vendors, you have everything. And now any ERP, let's suppose I'm using Dynamics 365 or SAP or Oracle. Let's say I have configured your external catalog in my system. So what my staff will do, they receive a purchase requisition. I will just sum it up quickly. They go to the external catalog, they add that item to the cart, and then they receive the pricing, and then that will be converted into the purchase order, and their internal ERP process will start. So I don't think so that would be an issue, because right now the ERPs can communicate with any e-commerce website using their XMLs, using their external catalogs. So if you can comment on that, I mean, what's your plan? If you guys are doing anything similar in the future, or what?
Well, we are completely focusing on the ERP integrations after once, our MVP is gone to the first phase. And after that, we are hoping that, we can provide all of our catalog listing and all of the graded data to all these companies, so that, they can enjoy this entire experience with us through the digital integrations too.
Perfect. So one more question. How does your feedback system works? Like, you have your vendors. Do you have any scoring criteria for the vendors? Or, how I will know that my preferred vendor would be this, how can I get the preferred vendor list for that scoring criteria? Would you like to comment on that? I mean, as a business owner, I would like to see all these matrices to, select a vendor and bids and accept a bid maybe.
So first, we focused on bringing the market leaders on board with us. Second thing, that the e-procurement data exercise that we do to combat the RFQ, RFP, and purchase requisition format, we ask all of our clients to share their preferred supplier information so that we can keep on increasing the vendor database as well. Secondly, there is client loyalty with certain vendors as well. So obviously, we want to bring all those vendors on board where client feels comfortable that they would want to issue the purchase orders to. So we have taken care of that, and we are focusing on that particular moment as we go.
Perfect. So let's connect maybe after your presentation, and we can discuss how you guys can do the ERP implementation, because I believe that that's not going to be a difficult thing for you.
Of course. Thank you so much, Hasnain. Let's do that.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Final question to Mr. Kaju.
Sorry, I was muted. Thank you for your presentation. It was really interesting concept to listen how you're generally trying to provide a solution for your market. Nevertheless, my question will be a little bit different than from the other judges. So I will be more concerned about your expansion strategy. I mean, since you're already present in the Pakistani market, what is your next plan for expansion? Are you planning to go to India or maybe the Western markets like the US, Canada, or European like Germany or the UK? So can you give us a hint about your sales and marketing strategy? And of course, there are some regulatory issues that could be problematic for you to enter some market. So can you give us some more detail about that as well?
Sure. So
Thank
the
you.
next market that we want to explore is UK, because we've seen a lot of potential there. There's a firm who I have been working with, and they were working on a printing software. So they have their printing software installed with millions of firms over there. So we have spoken to the same firms, and we have told them that if we bring them a complete solution, not only for printing, how would they respond back on that? They have shown a really keen interest on this. So, my focus is going to go to UK next. And then, thereon, after the experiences, after what we see in the international market, we can keep on exploring the other markets too.
Thank you.
Did you have another question?
I would just add a bit, because I see you done so many things and so skillfully. I have followed your resume here, and I think that it's really great how you have structured your presentation. Nevertheless, what my concern is, how did you finance your business endeavor so far? Is it just solely from your resources like self-funding, or you have some financial support from your investors or your business partners? Can you elaborate more about it? And did you raise some money so far, or is this your first time endeavor in the process of raising money?
So this is my first time raising funds. Until now, I have put in all the funds which were mine. There was no external help that we have taken. So, and now we want to expand because we have seen that we are getting a great response from the market. So we would like to expand. We would like to bring a investor on board with us at the earliest, of course.
Thank you very much, and I wish you great luck with your project.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
To have a success, especially in the UK market, which is pretty complex. Thank you.
We'll try. Thank you so much. Thank you,
You're
everyone.
welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you so much, team IPO.com, and thank you, judges, for asking all the questions. Yeah, you can mark the team. In the meantime, I will introduce the next team, which is Jaga Online. We're halfway there. We still have I believe 5 more presentations to go. Jaga Online, you may share your screen.
Can you hear us?
Yes, we can hear you. Team EPO, if.com, it would be great if you can stop sharing. And the next team can start.
Right. Yeah, we can share. We're sharing our screen now. Yeah. Right. Hello, everyone.
Just one moment, please. Let me just get a quick update from the judges. Let's see if they're ready. And if you can make your screen, if you can make your presentation full screen, that would be great for all of us. Okay. Yeah, I think it's better.
So I'll start when everyone is ready.
And remember, you have 3 minutes for the presentation.
Can you start now? We're waiting for you guys to say yes, we can.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, lovely. Thank you, everyone. Nashad Rahmani with you from jagaonline.com. It's good to be here. Jagaonline.com is a property unified marketplace in Pakistan. This is the first time in Pakistan we have a single platform fulfilling the needs of millions of customers across Pakistan, providing the digital brokerage services to people. Digital brokerage is a very first initiative in Pakistan by jagaonline.com, where people can buy, sell, rent, or manage their property digitally with 360 technology that we are applying and delivering it to our customers. It's all about property. So we continue on the same platform, serving millions of customers when it comes to property maintenance and home maintenance services, calling handymen at their homes with the in few steps. Verified, qualified professionals come home and deliver services and resolve the pain of the everyday lives of people across, especially in urban Pakistan, Karachi, Lahore, Islamabad, and Rawalpindi. That's where we are concentrating now. In addition, jagaonline.com helping people buying or building their new homes. That's we call it project sales. This is one element where we help people. This is a significant element where people face a lot of pain buying or a plot or a property, where we qualify the builders, the projects in terms of legal structure, NOCs, and we only bring on board verified, qualified, viable real estate projects for masses. We sold those projects as a separate vertical on behalf of the builders, and we entertain all the end users and investors on our end. We are building up. This is a very new baby in terms of e-commerce within the same platform called Joe Mall. We are providing the first time in Pakistan products which is related to properties, which is not available in Pakistan, primarily as a kind of DIY or products which probably people find very difficult to go buy and find a best deal on it. I'm talking about furniture, furnitures, home decor. Yes, there are e-commerce platforms in Pakistan, but these product categories are not the primary focused. And in addition to, if you talk about specifically to building material and construction material, so this is the first time we are bringing in a unified environment everything around property. We've been in business since 2018. We started as a classified website, and last year, since July last year, we moved into full cycle sale and service cycle platform where we are selling and serving the customers ourselves. Pakistan is our core primary market. We are focusing deeply in Karachi, which is a very large city, and we are at the same time operating in UAE and the UK as propertyfi.com, which is obviously an international domain. We have a setup company registered up and running in Dubai and same in the UK. However, due to the financial resources and completion of proof of concept, we are deeply focusing on Karachi market, and we repositioned our business, being in the business for the last 4 years. So since November, we've been into heavy, I would say, significant financial performance in terms of revenue and sales. We launched project sales and handyman and digital brokerage since 12th November last year. And so far, we have crossed almost 18 million in direct sales. This is the ever highest number since we launched the business in October 2018. I'm the founder, and I have a set of senior people from the industry in each vertical, such as technology, project sales.
Team Jaga Online, I'm so sorry to cut you off, but your 3-minute time is up.
Sure, thank you.
Right, let's get on with the Q&A. I see Mr. Gaja raised his hand first.
Hi, thank you for the presentation. My question would be more concerned about your finances. I mean, you didn't have much time to thoroughly present your traction, but I saw some indicators what was caught by my eye. I saw that you have, I mean, speaking about this, your sales revenue, that you had a fall from 36,000 in 2021 to January 2022 to 23,000, like $13,000. What was the reason for the sales drop? I mean, is it lack of marketing or generally your sales development? Can you elaborate more on that? And additionally, would like to know a bit about your direct competitors. Who are there, and of course, what differentiates you amongst them? So that would be all.
Right. Sure. We've been in the business. We've been investing money for last 3 years plus, and we moved from classified business to direct sales and service business. So we launched project sales, and the project sales brings a hell lot of money in terms of how we convert projects, properties, plots from builders to end users. So that was the biggest thing. And we ran our TV commercial and outdoor media campaign in October and November. That had a very clear picture on results that if you are in the business and you present yourself as a good brand, it can help you monetize faster in a greater numbers.
So that means, sorry for interrupting. So that means if you are creating a proper brand awareness, this will affect your revenue generation. So how much time do you need to come to the point of making you a brand? Are you doing your independent marketing, or you're hiring a marketing agency that will support you in that process?
It's both way. We have one of the top reputed agency from Pakistan, and we do it ourselves as well. And as I said, the reason on the direct monetization on the revenue was we moved from classified to direct sales and service. So which means as a handyman, I'm providing the services, I'm collecting the orders, I'm collecting the money, I'm arranging the third party handyman individuals and delivering them to customers' place. And I'm the project seller. I onboard the projects, I market them, I bring the customer, I sell, and I make revenue for myself and for the builder. Same goes with handyman and digital brokerage as well.
Thank you for the answer. And my recommendation for your next presentation within the startup network or any other event, try just to focus the most important things, because you have too many data on your presentation. It's good for me because I'm an analyst and I like it, but not all the people or investors are such. So just try to bold it, or just making some kind of animation with your presentation to be more vibrant and alive and more appealing to the investors. So that would be just my personal opinion. But thank you anyway for their answers.
Thank you for the feedback.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you, Naushad. I think it was a good presentation, and good luck for your future aspirations. 2 questions, very quick one. One is, what is the scale of operation in UAE? And also, again, related to UAE, what are your direct competitors in UAE?
In UAE, we have 4 verticals under one brand name, Property-Fi. When it comes to classified business, we have Property Finder, we have Bayut. When it comes to Pakistan, I didn't answer this question earlier. We have Zameen.com when it comes to classified and project sales. But when it comes to handyman or the digital brokerage, we don't have any competitor in Pakistan or in UAE. And we have our office in DMCC in Dubai. It's been 2 years. We have a very small team, but largely supported by the offshore support center in Karachi.
So sorry, I might have missed out. So who is your competitor in the UAE?
Bayut and Property Finder when it comes to property classified business.
Okay. So thank you. No more questions.
All right. Any other question, judges? Anyone would like to ask any question? Yes, Mr. Anis.
Excellent presentation. Not necessarily a novel idea, but great execution. Congratulations. Just one question. What is the process of digital brokerage? I was wondering because brokerage industry in Pakistan, especially when it comes to property, is quite tricky. So how do you manage it through a digital channel?
Yeah. We take the direct sellers and the real estate on board. We shoot the property with 360, as you can see on the screen. What we do is we remove the pain of finding a right property for the end user or the investor. So as you can see on the screen, as if you're looking as a tenant or and then someone a buyer, you don't have to go pillar to post and look at 20, 30, 40 properties. You can look at the whole property detail on your mobile, on our app. You can find the property, you can see everything. We don't just provide you the detail about the property, we provide you area guide and a legal advice on the property that you may be interested in. And then we don't just leave you there, we take you to the final stage, which in case you want to do a transaction, we help you in terms of the sales process and the deed transfer. We give this facility or the technology to real estate agents on a SaaS model. So which means they don't have to give us the property, but they can get all of their properties shoots, and we bring those listings on our platform, which save their time, money, energy, and control, and bring them faster closings when it comes to selling and renting.
All right, Mr. Hostin, you raised your hand. Maybe we can have a quick question from you.
Oh yes, I just wanted to know how you guys are providing legal advisory to the clients in Pakistan. And you know that, I mean, I had once my father once had an experience in this kind of mess, and you know this is very crazy in Pakistan that you are taking. I would say this is such a big risk that how are you guys tackling it? I mean, do you guys the legal advisory? I just want to know because you know there are a lot of frauds and a lot of stuff in Pakistan. So how do you guys?
For every city, Hasnain, we have real estate lawyers on our platforms, which works on a success tree model. And every single, I would give an example of Karachi. Karachi has 12 zones where you have different type of legal structure of transferring a property. So these property professional lawyer, they know in each district what are the requirements, what documents you are required, from where NOC needs to be in hand, and what are the processes. So when it comes to due diligence of a property, we give the choice of the buyer that if they would like to have this service, they can deal with our preferred network of real estate lawyers, and they can take care of everything, explaining, highlighting any risk. And this is the wish or probably the choice of the end user customer if they think they can pay a fee and continue the transfer of the property. You said rightly, Pakistan has a lot of gray things around when it comes to property, but it's pretty much mature. But unless you are someone, a professional from inside, then you probably can understand not everything is gray. It's all about doing what Romans do in Rome. I would say if you understand the local market, you can deal it very well. If you're an outsider, then it's very scary. And
I would say that's a risk. Yeah. Still, I would say
risky. Obviously,
yeah, that's a risk. And maybe you can maybe you can come with a process or with something that would mitigate this risk. You know, this is how startups boom. You find out exactly. And you get that.
We have done that. What we have done is, obviously, we as a platform, as a technology or as a business platform, we are not the lawyer or the legally expert in it. So we have brought the legal experts from all domains, all areas, and then again, this is the end user customer. They say, okay, I would like to have a lawyer, and if the deal goes through, then I want my lawyer to look after all the legal matters, and then the lawyer takes care of everything from that stage.
All right. So does your pricing structure changes with the? I mean, how does your pricing structure changes? I mean, with the area of the property, or you take commission?
It's the same thing. A normal structure in Pakistan is 2% commission when you complete the transaction of the property. So
Okay.
we do the same thing. We don't charge anything extra, but we just, if it's the property, we ask for exclusive rights from the seller for at least bare minimum 90 days plus. Depends, it can be 180 days or maybe 1 year, depending on the size or the volume of the value of the property. So we take exclusive property from the seller and then we market it with the agent network. We do direct marketing and we bring customers, buyer, and then close the transaction.
All right. My key takeaway in the I hope I'm not taking a lot of time. So my key takeaway in digital brokerage would be to to bring something like that would really inspire people, that would encourage people to leave the local high street agents and go digital, right? So even in UK, I know a lot of digital brokerage agencies. Like in UK, there's doorsteps.uk. What those guys are doing, those guys have eliminated the process of giving 1%, 2% commission to the high street agent, and all that hustle. The total digital brokerage, they they make their deals, everything they do until the customer and until the both parties agrees on a deal. And what they do, they just charge a fixed amount of commission. They totally eliminate that hand. They're going very good. They're great. They have done a lot. I think in last 3 years, more than £1 billion of sales have been done through their platform. So that's just my key takeaway from here. That for the digital brokerage, I think we need to add something extra or something more convenient, more reliable for people to go digital. Otherwise, to go digital, it would require a lot of effort for you and marketing and everything else until it is very disruptive. So we need to make it disruptive, I think. That's just my suggestion. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Hossein, Mr. Hossein, for your insights and for sharing some feedback, and a great presentation once again, Team Jaga Online. We're moving with with our last couple of teams. The next team is Team Udemy Private Limited. Sorry, next startup. We don't want to confuse them. If you could please share your screen, and then we can get on with your presentation.
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. I guess you can start.
Right? Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let me just put a presentation. So basically, this is Udemy Private Limited. The name comes from the combination of two words. We are an edtech startup. So the ed part is with the education, and the MY, my part is basically comes from myself. That I just want to educate myself, not only with the regular curriculum, but every other life skill that I can to excel. When we speak of every other adventure, that roots back to only one thing, that is a curious and a skillful brain that comes with education. Unfortunately, education in Pakistan is a major problem. The lack of education is basically a major problem. When we see at the skill development in Pakistan, that is underserved, quality education is a privilege. Only in developed cities, Pakistan has one of the lowest teacher-student ratios, 1:40. Huge gap in the opportunity for the underprivileged. These problems, they leave us with the challenge that traditional institutions, they're unable to meet with today's fastest growing economy. They cannot accommodate the masses that are left behind because of the small number of the physical institutes, and these all problems, they create a negative impact. We are having over 100 million youth that is deprived of the fundamental right of the quality education, the basic literacy, and the life skills that they need to excel in the career. If you look at the edtech sector in Pakistan, that has a huge potential, like over 120 million market size. There are 120 million learners who are either in some school, in a college, in a university, or they're learning some skill somewhere in a physical setup. The total addressable market right now, because of the digital penetration, that's over 80 million right now, and the market size in dollars, that is $15 billion in 2021, which is growing year on year and is expected to be $30 billion by 2030. We are a team of 2 people in management right now. Me, Ziaul Haq, I'm the founder CEO. I have been a teacher for past 7 years. I have taught around 28. I've been in contact with around 28,000 students over the past 7 years of my experience in the physical colleges and academies. And I've been linked with online education for past 6 years now. I've worked with a lot of tech startups. Recently, I actually headed the team. We developed a course for entire Pakistan, like all 4 provinces and FATA. We developed FSC courses for all these boards. The other one is Osama, he's a co-founder CEO. He is a seasoned business consultant. We both are actually running on the management team right now with 19 people on our teachers team. What we have done is we have created a platform which is easy to use. It's like one-stop shop thing. You just one window operation. You just get everything you require for your curriculum-based or your skill-based courses. You require your video lectures, your content, your quizzes, everything that is needed only at one single window. You don't have to navigate through a complex LMS learning management system. That was a problem that I felt while interacting with the students, that they're unable to navigate through those clustered learning management systems. That's why we created a simpler one. With the traction, speaking of 2019-20, that was the first year we launched. We had 250 students with only one program and 4 courses. Then we increased it in 2020-21. Year 2020-21, we increased to 2 courses, 2 programs, and 12 different courses, and we had 1,027 enrollments, with the revenue ranging from in 2019-20 was $8,000, which jumped to 2020-21 to $50,000. We are currently dealing with, speaking of the competition, we have a lot of.
I'm so sorry, Academy Private. Your time has expired. It's a little bit over 3 minutes, but yeah, let's proceed with the Q&A. I see Ms. Iram has raised her hand, followed by Ms. Anis. Yeah, a lot of hands raised.
So my question is that why have you created this? Because there are already many online platforms available, and you are charging a fee for the training as well. Am I right?
Yes, we are charging it.
So there are free options available. So why do you think that people would like to come to your portal, and how are you differentiating yourself?
Okay, answering to the first question, we don't think that the people will come to us. People are actually coming to us. With zero marketing over the past 2 years, we have managed to have over 1,000 paid enrollments with over $58,000 in revenues. Number one. Number two, what we are doing is we started with the curriculum-based courses that nobody out there was actually offering at that time. Yes, you have a lot of courses at YouTube, you have a lot of courses at other free platforms, but the authenticity and the completion of the content that student seeks when especially comes to entrance level examination. For example, speaking of NMDCAT, that is the National Medical and Dental College Admission Test, or for example, speaking about CSS, PMS, the preparatory exam, the exams like competition exams like that. Students are simply not trusting the free resources. So what we do is we provide them with all the material they require on one single platform, number one. Number two, we're doing it with highly qualified teachers. The teachers panel that we have is one of the most experienced out there in the physical system. The teachers in our CSS program, they are 28 to 30 years of experience. Also, there are serving officers. When we speak of the curriculum-based courses, these are the teachers have been teaching for past 20, 25 years. So everything that we offer at this platform is going to be one of the best quality at the top. Secondly, the content that we're offering today and most of other edtech startups, the type of content, the type of recordings that you can see on your screen, this is soon going to be outdated. People are actually not very happy with doing the same stuff again, like they used to be in the physical classroom. A teacher is teaching at a whiteboard, and similarly, we just recorded it with the camera and put it on a website. So that doesn't make it, edtech. That doesn't make it e-learning. So what we're going to do is we are going to create courses like Byju's. I'm sure a lot of you might know about that. What Byju's is, that's one of the largest tech companies in the world. That is an Indian-based tech company. We are actually going to create interactive courses with these kind of animations. So that's what we're planning. We're planning to move on to in the year 2022. We have plans to go to 12 programs with 148 courses.
No, but you initially said that the education system is not good and the literacy is not good and so and so. That is why you want to create a new platform where you will give good education. But the courses that so far you have been offering through which you have earned money are the CSS and those type of exams. That is entirely different from what the university is giving. Yes, those type of programs can earn money and that is understandable. But when you are talking about competing the universities and the traditional education system, that is a different ballgame. And
yeah, sorry, you can continue, please.
Okay, Osama, you may please take a lead. Osama is my co-founder.
Okay, so I would just like to step in and answer this question. That you rightly mentioned that there are a lot of free resources available to students, and as we know that the traditional education system in Pakistan is very saturated, and it's been going on for as long as we can remember. The learning models that we experience, and people who graduated from colleges and universities maybe 8 years before us, more or less went through the same learning systems. But being here in 2022 today, so one end of this entire endeavor of EDMI is to transform the educational system and the learning environment that is currently prevalent in Pakistan. So yes, while we agree that our traditional systems are so outdated and so primitive, and the adoption of technological systems, especially when it comes to education, has been very tricky. But it has been an improving phenomenon if we look at the market outlook and the overall mindset that now exists among the student body and the instructors and all. So while we are saying that, yes, we are out to solve the biggest problem of the access of education that only covers one part of our endeavor, the transition that eventually we'll see with EDMI is that it will eventually become the biggest platform of curriculum-based and skills development resources and courses online in Pakistan, because currently that mantle is empty, and all the other edtech platforms that are currently growing in Pakistan, they are mainly focused towards the K-12 model. Our system is slightly different. So we are not looking at creating courses for 3-year-olds and for grade 1, 2, and 3, but we are talking about the age group of people between 15 years of age and 45 years of age. That covers a huge ambit of not only curriculum-based learnings like O-levels, A-levels, metric, FSC, but and then entry tests for universities. But also it translates into all the future professional needs that people in the professional industry, people who are about to transition into their professional careers from their education, they will need. So that is a need that we are going to fulfill in the coming years, because with the talent and with all the potential that we see in Pakistan, both from the curriculum-based education point of view and the skills development point of view, we usually just open up and look at Udemy or Pluralsight or LinkedIn Learning, platforms like these, who charge a very good amount in dollars, and we get the courses and we get the desired learnings. But as we are transforming in terms of our adoption of technology and our understanding of the digital systems, what we are set out to do is to have a very good quality learning material online, a very interactive and a very state-of-the-art learning model available for our students, while making sure that our reach is very stretched and very remote. That is where our offline transition strategies would come into play, where we will continue to transition students towards our learning model. So if I just summarize that in another 2 sentences, so that strategy would be to have capability centric initiatives in remote areas where access to education is challenging. So we are
Thank you. I'm sorry to cut you. I got your point, and there are other judges who need to ask questions. So
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can take only one more question. I think it's over 5-6 minutes. Maybe we can take one more question from a judge. See, 5 hands are raised, but maybe Dr. Kamal, you can ask a question. You haven't asked any question. Maybe you can take this opportunity to ask a question. In the meantime, other judges, you can also ask your question in the chat box, and startup will answer them via chat.
Hello, first of all, thank you, Ademi, for taking this initiative and for thinking about the students as well. So my concern is that as you were talking that you were challenging against the traditional practices. So is there any option available on your platform where students can cross question or have one-on-one conversation with your experts? Because when you talk about the entry test, when you talk about CSS, they demand lots of understanding and students have lots of theories in their mind. So is there any feature available on your platform?
Zia, would you like to answer it?
Sure. Yes, actually. Speaking of live or one-to-one interaction, we have a couple of options over there. Number one, when we plan our session for CSS or maybe NMTCAT or ECAT or the entrance exams, we plan a 3 months or 4 month session, which is loaded with obviously video lectures, the content, the quizzes, but also live sessions where students on daily basis, they can actually engage with the teachers, they can put up the questions and get them answered, number one. Number two, we have this forum kind of thing where they can actually, any time of the day, they can type up the questions, they can take a picture and send it to the teachers, and teacher will answer that, which will again become part of the database. So any other students coming to the same questions, they will already have that answer.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's move on to the next startup. Just a quick feedback from my end. It'll be great if you can answer your question to the point and more precisely, so more judges get to ask you questions. The next startup is Humming Hive. Yeah. If you could please share your screen and get on with your presentation.
Just a second.
Yeah, sure.
Do you know what this is?
Just one more minute. Can we just give like 30 seconds to the judges to score?
All right.
Okay, yeah, I think you may start.
Okay. Do you know what this is? These are the 4 horsemen of apocalypse. Conquest leads to war leads to famine, and famine leads to death. We live in a world consumed by it. Around 9 million people die every year of hunger and hunger-related diseases. This is more than tuberculosis, malaria, and AIDS combined. This would only get worse if bees went extinct, as they play a crucial role in pollination. These everyday items would either run out or become a luxury. Now, as this graph shows, the number of bee colonies has been declining since the 1990s, mainly due to industrialization and climate change as a result. The European Parliament warned this could impact 76% of all of Europe's food production. It even banned the use of 3 neonicotinoid pesticides that were harmful to bees. Now, I'd like you to read the statement above. It's by Rutgers University, the 8th oldest university in the United States. And that is why we created Humming Hive to save our future generations from starvation. The main problem faced by beekeepers is humidity. Bees and the honey they produce does not go well together with water. Honey is a good absorber of water, and diluted honey is less desirable. Bees get less productive during humid conditions, thus taking longer to produce the same amount of honey. Beekeepers don't exactly know when the cells are ready for harvest. They do have an estimate, but bothering the hive over and over also reduces its productivity. Now let me introduce you to Bumblebee 1.0. It's equipped with a temperature and humidity sensor which turns on a fan when either the temperature or the humidity reaches a certain threshold. It's also equipped with load cells that can inform the user when the cells are ready for harvest. This is our UI. It allows the user to geolocate their devices as well as monitor certain parameters. This bar graph shows the number of beehives worldwide. The total market was valued at $7.8 billion in 2019 and is expected to reach $10 billion by 2025. Pakistan is the 35th largest exporter of honey, with generating $8 million in 2019 with a million beehives. Our target sales are 500,000 devices in the first 5 years, generating at least $50 million. This rounds off to just 0.01% of the total market. This is our team. Abdullah Saeed, Qasim Iftikhar, and I am Munib Tahir. We're all A-level students. The problem with us was that we did not find A-level challenging. We have groomed ourselves. We have groomed our self-learning capabilities to such an extent that our taste could only be satisfied by starting a startup. Thank you. Now, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Great. You finished with a minute to spare. Yeah, remember to answer your question precisely and to the point. Okay. I see Mr. Gajo have already raised his hand. He can go first, followed by Mr. Tanvir. Mr. Gajo.
Mr. Gajo, you're on mute.
Hi. Do you hear me? I had some issues with the sound. Thanks for the presentation. I see that your product is generally concerned with the honeybee industry. What my question would be, how far you came to the development of your device? Did you have raised so far, or you're planning to use this kind of an opportunity to come up to an investment? So that would be kind of a question in terms of what generally makes you attractive on the global market with your solution. Did you do some kind of a market research for that? I mean, I already noticed that you have done like target market and what is the market that you're planning to achieve from the number of units to revenue. How far did you come up to that? Can you elaborate more about it?
Okay, so there are only two.
I don't hear you. You're really quiet. Can you raise your volume?
Can you hear me now?
I hear you. Yeah.
Okay, so there are only two other competitors. They're Polarity and Solution Group. Their devices either cost too low, or they sell these big beehives that the farmer would need to replace. Our USP is that our entire infrastructure is scalable. It's linked by AWS in the backend, so it's completely scalable architecture. So it doesn't matter if we have 10 devices or 1,000 devices working at a time.
Okay. But do you have some kind of a sales forecast for the next 5 years so that we can see some revenue development to see how much are you going to earn in the first 2 years, or what is the scale and comparison between each year in terms of revenue? Do you have such sales development forecast, or you can just elaborate here orally?
We actually right now we actually have 10 pre-orders from a person who owns an APD in Islamabad. He actually agreed to buy 100 more devices if our devices work well. So we'll move from there.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other question?
Yeah, Munib, thank you very much for sharing a powerful idea. I think most of the questions were the same that the other judge just asked. I've got one question in terms of, okay, what are your assumptions in this whole process, and have you tested your assumptions?
We're not making any assumptions. Okay, so we still need to test our device. We do have an agreement with a guy in Islamabad. So when we do have a prototype ready, we'll be sending it to him soon to gather some data.
So you realize that it's a high risk game because there are no, it's not tested, there's no assumption, there's only two competitors, and you don't have enough information about what the competitors are doing, isn't it?
There are only two competitors, Polarity and Solution. Their products are actually priced very high and they're not that readily available. And they do not have an all-in-one solution like our device.
But you haven't come up with any financials, like in terms of financial planning or forecast in your slide deck.
Actually, we do haven't. Do you mind if I change my screen and show it? Just give me a second. We do have that. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Are the financials visible?
So the product is $77, right?
Yes.
But again, this particular financials, one can easily recognize that there are lots of assumptions into it. So
yeah, you can say that.
Yeah, thank you. No more questions.
Great. Since we have no more questions, we have a question from Mr. Azim.
I would just like to know what motivated you towards this idea, seeing that you are at such a nascent stage, A-level students, and actually working on bees and trying to come up with technology and all that. So what actually motivated you, and where do you actually plan to take this forward? Obviously all these things and financials and all of these things can be learned over time and with persistence. So I just wanted to know your motivation.
Well, I've always been interested in programming and IoT devices. I always planned to, after graduation, after my university, I planned to do a job in a startup. So I thought to myself, why not start my own and create more jobs?
Okay, so that shows your motivation towards the technology and the entrepreneurship side. But why this particular problem?
This particular problem because I actually have a friend who's part of the Honeybee Association. So we were discussing, and he was telling me about some of the problems he faced quite frequently. So I thought to myself, why can't I make a device to solve all that?
All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. If you could, great presentation. If you could stop sharing your screen, we will move on to our last two teams. The second last team is Solish AI Solution. I guess they're present, and they have already started sharing their screen. Yeah, let's just give 1 minute to the judges to relax and mark the teams, and then you can start presenting.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're also audible. It would be great if you can turn on your camera.
I'm so sorry. Actually, I tried logging in with the other laptop. I don't have camera
no
in this
problem.
laptop due to some security feature. So sorry for that.
No problem.
So
Yeah, friendly reminder to our judges to vote in the website. And yeah, I guess we can proceed. So yeah, you can start presenting.
my name is Ayman, and I am the founder of Slosh AI Solutions. The journey of Slosh started with the death of my sister. We lost her in the fight of cancer. We couldn't save her just because it was a case of late diagnosis. After research, I found out that WHO estimates that 30 million chest x-rays are done in Pakistan each year. And to cater with that load, we only have 1,200 radiologists for a population of 220 million people. What's the outcome? That there's 44% cases that are misdiagnosed in chest x-rays in the first stage. And these cases become life-threatening when they are diagnosed at a later stage. So Slosh basically came up with the solution of lung cancer pathways. In our solution, we are building artificial intelligence and machine learning intelligent tools that will be giving better visualization of chest x-rays. As you know, the chest x-ray is the first screening tool. We will be detecting even the smallest nodule on the chest x-rays, and then through smart reporting tool, we will be referring the patients towards CT scans and follow-ups so that no patient gets missed. Through our geolocation tool, we can do mass screening program for other diseases like tuberculosis and COVID as well. If there is an outburst of a certain disease in a certain region, then this can be picked and the area can be locked down or go for a mass screening program. The tool has all the security compliances incorporated with it, HIPAA compliance and encryption protocols, and it is compatible with the PACS system that is integrated in the digital x-rays. We are doing this to make sure that our patients are protected and their data is protected in our database. Right now, we have completed our minimum viable product and we are testing and trying it in different hospitals. We are in the stage of testing it. We are in the process of testing it with different hospitals and signing MOUs to get our different data protocols done. According to our business model, we will be charging $1 per scan, and this will give us a revenue of 1 million chest x-rays as we aim to capture 1 million chest x-rays by the end of 2023 year. Our competition is with international competitors. None of our competitors are in Pakistan, and our unique selling point is that we have a team of doctors that is helping us in building these assistive tools and not the diagnostic tools. We started a long way, and last year we won 3 different prizes from which includes Standard Chartered Women in Tech Prize, and we also won Feroz Sons Innovation Award. We have a team. I am Ayman Khan. I am from engineering background, and we have Dr. Hisham Haq, who is the medical director and medical practitioner from UK. He's basically taking care of all the medical inputs, and I am taking care of all the tech, building all the tech on ground. The world is moving towards artificial intelligence. Can we afford not to start right now in Pakistan? Our goal is simple. We cannot conquer today's problem with the medical infrastructure and just by the increase of medical personnel. We as Pakistanis need artificial intelligence technologies, assistive tools to reduce human error and to build trust in the profession. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. A very powerful presentation. Yeah, I see Mr. Anis have already raised his hand. You can go first, followed by Mr. Hosnain.
Great presentation. One question: if I am a patient and I am a potential user of your technology, how would I be able to use it from my home, or do only hospitals can use it? And if I can use it from home, how am I going to use it?
Okay, if you are a patient, you will have to go to a hospital that has a facility of doing the chest x-rays. Basically, that's the problem with teleradiology. It cannot be implemented in homes. You just have to walk towards the machine once. Once you are at the machine, as I have mentioned, that we are offering follow-ups and referral to CT. So you can get the message on your mobile phone if you are the patient that is using, who is registered on our tool. You will get the message that you need a follow-up scan for the CT, or you might need a follow-up after 6 months or anything. So this is how patient. Yes.
My question was, if I have an X-ray with me,
Mm-hmm.
right, and you have an ML routine in your backend, can I somehow scan it through my phone or camera and upload it so that I get early warning? Is it possible?
No, not right now. Right now, if you have the X-ray in digital format, yes, you can send it to us and we can provide you with second opinion tool. But right now, we are just dealing with the digital chest X-rays and not the analog ones. This require further like 1 to 2 years. It will be another product that will take 1 to 2 years to develop.
And what are you using in your backend?
In the backend, we are using Python.
Which cloud?
Cloud, okay. Amazon Web Services.
Okay.
Mr. Roston, you can go next.
It's such a noble cause. I truly love it, and this is something much needed in Pakistan with people with a very less knowledge about it. And unfortunately, people get to know it when it's too late. It's in most of the cases, and it's so hard to lose your loved ones in that way. By the way, I just want to know what's the accuracy of your model so far with your data?
So far, I must say that it's 90%, more than 90% of accuracy. And we recently won the COVID challenge in the grand challenge that is carried out each. This was actually the first challenge that was carried out in COVID category. It's arranged by Mikai. It's a worldwide challenge, and we stood second with our partner lab, computational biology research lab. But I must say that we cannot claim anything right now because we are in the testing and trialing phase, and these data sets are usually built from very powerful X-ray machines. So we are in the process of testing it in Pakistan right now, and we would be able to say a claim after like 2 to 3 months of rapid and rigorous testing that yes, this is the accuracy of our system in Pakistan. But on data sets, we have publications and all that. We stood second in the challenge worldwide.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So as you have been competing in the international, so what plan of expansion? Are you guys collecting only data for the Pakistan people, or you are going international? How is your data? I mean, from where you are getting the data, how authentic is that data? So, I mean, if you can share something about that, and are you guys, how you guys are collecting the data?
Yes, for now, the major aim is to do this deployment in Pakistan, because we started from Pakistan, and my medical director, or also the co-founder, Dr. Hisham Haq, is very much motivated to deploy this product in Pakistan first. And we have been in touch with different collaborators and investors outside Pakistan, and everyone was saying that data protocols outside Pakistan are very tough. So right now we are dealing with open source data sets, and we are getting trying to get data sets in Pakistan to test it more, to make it more powerful. And then once it's validated, it can be deployed anywhere in the world because we will have the infrastructure.
What's your criteria of data validation?
Data validation?
Yeah.
Basically, for data validation, we have our own radiologist panel. It's like 6 to 7 radiologists that are actually looking at our chest X-rays, and they're verifying that whether this data is up to mark or not. They're looking at the rotation, the exposures and everything on the chest X-rays, whether it's fine or not, and the extra X-rays will be discarded.
Amazing, amazing. So to much accuracy, I mean, what's your target for the accuracy? How much accuracy you can increase from 90%?
Obviously, the world that is, as I mentioned, that the world is moving towards AI. We plan to achieve more best accuracy that we can, and we are not going to deploy it anywhere until and unless we have an accuracy of 95% in a certain hospital, obviously.
Go with less than 95% accuracy, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. So the major challenge is technological challenge, or the I mean the data resource challenge. What is the major challenge in that to get to that accuracy?
Yes, actually, measured is basically, you know that AI is data dependent. It's data dependent on in one hospital and in another hospital. So I need whenever when we discuss this with our internal hospitals and the people who have already been there, they're ahead of us. They just told us one thing, that once you go in one hospital, just test on their data, train on their data, and deploy it there. Then you move to another hospital. So it will be like a hop on, hop on, hop on process. You cannot just collect data from 10 different hospitals and start working that I have this data. No, this is not the criteria. Our criteria is to go one hospital, validate it, and then do the scaling and expansion. This is what we are doing right now.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for the questions.
Thank you so much. Any other question, or shall we move on to the next presentation? Any other questions from any judges? Mr. Ram, you raised your hand. Maybe a quick question from you.
Yeah, a very quick question. Eman, I appreciate your presentation and I appreciate the feelings behind that. And I'm sure you must be very satisfied when you are developing this and happy. You also mentioned that you are taking care of all the security protocols. So that means from that, it's safe for the patients. And so since you have some collaborations abroad as well, so my question is, you are mostly looking for data within Pakistan, and you have already tested your solution with the open source data. So why didn't you try to go for solutions outside Pakistan? Because you did mention that there are some people who said that getting data from abroad would be difficult. So do you think it will be easier for in Pakistan? And yeah.
Yes, this is what I have heard, that it is easier to get data in Pakistan. And the best part, and another thing is that we need to validate it in a certain region. This is how AI works. If I validate it in Islamabad, I can go towards Karachi. If I validate it in Karachi, I can go abroad. Means it goes one step at a time. And secondly, when we are actually working with RayQC, I have mentioned that startup, that company that is basically linked with Royal College of Radiologists. We are partnering with them, and they cannot even release one X-ray to us. The X-rays that they have so much strict protocols that we are working with them. We are partners with them, but they cannot even share the one X-ray on their database that they have access to. They're authorized to use it. They cannot even share it with us. So the data protocols in UK are very tough. Our company's second branch is incorporated in UK, which is actually run by Dr. Hisham Haq. But we plan on expanding. That is like the baby startup of this startup. So he's basically in this phase of getting these pitches and grants and all that over there. So once it's validated over there, we will definitely move towards Royal College of Radiologists over there. But the startup that is there, our other part, is a baby startup, you can say. So we plan on expanding in Pakistan at the first stage.
Yeah, so I would just say that this is amazing and very much needed, because I have, to a certain degree, I do have a medical background. So I have seen many startups coming up with these type of solutions. And but the good thing is that you are focusing on not just on cancer broadly, but you have narrowed it down to a specific solution. And I don't think that data would be a big issue. I'm sure if you would try a bit, you will get the data. In Pakistan, there are many who I think would be able to give you. So good luck for your solution.
Thank you so much, Iram. Thank you for your motivation. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Great Q&A session. All right, so we are almost at the end of our program. The last startup is going to present now. Startup Farmender. Yeah, and they have already started sharing their screen. Yeah, let's just give the judges a minute to score the previous startup, and then we can proceed with the very last startup of the evening. All right, I see some thumbs up sign from the judges. So yes, I guess we can proceed.
Can I ask a bit one question before moving to the last startup? What happened with the previous two ones? I mean, the first one and the fifth one. I think it's the
great
Denise
question.
and Bulkistan.
Yeah, right,
Did
great
they dropped
question.
out from the
Yes,
event?
I'm assuming they dropped out because they're not present here in the Zoom meeting. So we're assuming that they dropped out. So we're not going to mark them. So we're only going to mark the 9 startups who presented and who presented their business.
Thank you for your elaboration for him. Appreciate
Thank you
it.
so much. All right. Yeah, you can start.
Thank you, Fahim. Hello, judges. My name is Mohammed Bukhari. I'm co-founder of Farmdar. You can think of Farmdar as a Bloomberg for agriculture. The problem we're trying to solve is a global one. The global population will hit 10 billion people by 2050. And in order to feed everyone, the global food production will have to increase by 60 to 100%. This will require a lot of additional land, roughly 8 times the size of Pakistan. And the climate implications of that are absolutely catastrophic. This problem is also actually accentuated in Pakistan. If you look at Pakistan as a agricultural nation, we are top producers of a number of crops, but actually there's a massive yield gap. For the same crops, we are in the bottom 50 in terms of yield. There's also massive food waste in Pakistan, with all fruits and vegetables, 20% of all fruits and vegetables wasted on harvest. So Farmdar is the solution. We basically provide data and information to farmers and agri-based enterprises that allows them to increase their productivity and reduce waste. We've achieved some phenomenal results in terms of water efficiency, input efficiency, yield increases, and waste reduction. How do we do it? We have a web-based platform where farmers go and digitalize their land. We then use remote sensing like satellites, drones, and IoT sensors to gather data. This data is then processed through our sort of AI stack and converted into actionable insights that farmers and agri-based enterprises can use. The market for crops in Pakistan is absolutely huge. $27 billion is the annual market for crops in Pakistan. It's growing at a stable stage, but also outside of just crops, there are multiple industries linked to agriculture in Pakistan. We have very ambitious plans and we've achieved some amazing traction. To date, we've covered 135,000 acres in Pakistan. We've generated around $35,000 since October. On average, that's about $11,000 revenue per customer. We have an MVP, which is live, and we have some amazing partnerships, one with the largest retail food chain in Pakistan, and then with a number of universities as well. Our plan is to actually expand to the regions and target specific districts for crop types, and then actually expand globally. Our model is actually, we are free for farmers, and then we share farmers' data and data on crops with enterprises, and we charge them for it. This is our team. Across the team, we have loads and loads of experience, and we are also from farming backgrounds. I'll stop there and invite questions.
Thank you so much. I see already some of the judges have raised their hand. Yeah, Mr. Gaju can go first, followed by Mr. Hosnain and Mr. Anis.
Hi, thank you for him. When I was looking the presentation, it's definitely touched by someone who was working for McKinsey company. It's definitely something that could be noticed. My question would be more concerned about your revenue generation. I mean, can you more elaborate about your current forecast? You can get back to the slide where you're.
You're interested in this one?
Yeah, that one. So can you elaborate more on your revenue projection? What methodology did you use to get it there? And of course, since you're an operating business, can you tell us what are your concerns in terms if your sale doesn't happen as expected? Do you have some strategy for achieving the sales revenue, and how are you planning to achieve it, to put it that way? Yeah.
Sure. So look, at the fundamentally, if you look at this, it's like a land grab, right? We are one of the few organizations right now that can actually go out there, survey some land, and gather lots of data from that land. And then we are able to actually process this, add value to it, and sell it on to multiple use cases. So, for example, in Pakistan at the moment, we are working with one of the largest retail food chains in Pakistan because they're interested in where their supply comes from. So we give them a lot of information based on where is all this coming from, what is the condition of it, we monitor harvests for them and things like that. Similarly, when we're able to connect a land parcel with a farmer or an individual, we open up other use cases like banks, for example. So we are in talks with Habib Bank Limited in Pakistan, one of the largest banks in Pakistan. And they want to find out about how they can improve their non-performing loans. They want to target farmers more with their kind of loan products. They also want to do better credit risk modeling. So that becomes another use case.
In terms of agricultural sector, this is agricultural loans that they provide. I see.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So we have multiple use cases that we can target. In terms of our projections, so how we're working is we're working on a crop by crop basis, and we're also working on focusing on specific districts. One of the reasons we started in Pakistan was there's amazing geographic concentration in Pakistan in terms of crops. So for example, oranges, 90% of them come from one single district in Pakistan. So we can create a lot of data around oranges and orange growth and actually train our models so that actually they work with oranges anywhere else, right? And so we can apply that, for example, in Florida. So we're working on that principle where we go, we capture land, we capture crops within those land, we train our models on them, and then they become applicable kind of in the regions and globally quite easily. Why we are going to these particular regions first? For example, I've got there Australia, Bangladesh, Indonesia, and Thailand. With Thailand and Australia, actually, we're targeting mangoes. So those districts that are highlighted there, they're strategically highlighted. They're not just sort of random places that we go to. We started working on mangoes in Pakistan. We produced some amazing results. For example, our plant counting accuracy on mangoes is already 95%, just based on the data we've collected in Pakistan.
Thanks. So sorry, you can continue. Yeah, of course.
Similarly, in Indonesia, you know, oil palm and coconut are really, really big. We're actually talking to a global commodities and kind of shipping of agri-commodities player, and they have huge plantations in Indonesia. So that would be a natural kind of step for us to take.
Thanks for the answer. Can you just add a bit more technical question of mine? What is left to be done in terms of software development? I mean, you have an MVP and you move on further. If you raise from this event or any other, what is the way on money that you're going to spend on the technical development, speaking about the software, and on marketing? Can you elaborate more there? I saw that, but just wanted to be more detailed about it.
Of course. So look, basically, we're bootstrapped at the moment, and our team is very small. We're 5 people in total. So really, we need like more resources on the data science side to be able to develop more and more use cases. We also actually are very data heavy. So when we gather data, for example, a satellite image, it can be up to multiple gigabytes, right? So actually, data processing and storage is expensive. That's basically our main cost, right? So we need to kind of scale that up. So predominantly we're targeting roughly about $2 million. Predominantly that will be spent on grabbing land and making sure we have the data capability and use cases to deliver when we go and grab that land. In terms of marketing, to be honest, we will have a very digital marketing focused play. In Pakistan so far, all our revenue, roughly $35,000, has come from LinkedIn.
Thank you very much for a thorough answer. I wish you great success with your business.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I would like to go next.
Okay, I'll go next. So thank you for a very nice run through. I think it's a good idea for the countries like Pakistan and a couple of others who are especially agriculture focused. One question is, have you reached out to the various fertilizer organizations operating in Pakistan? Because there's lots of good companies who might be interested in actually partner with you, whereas we only see one food chain, Gourmet, on that part. So any plans for reaching out to the fertilizer companies to engage, because all those companies have to have their farmer empowerment programs where this thing fits in very nicely.
Absolutely, they're all in our pipeline. As I mentioned, sort of on this slide, we are targeting multiple areas linked to agriculture in Pakistan. We're in discussions with all of them from FMCGs who are, for example, interested in potato growers to input companies who might be interested in selling their kind of inputs to farmers, etc. So we see this as a really large B2B play in Pakistan, and our plan is to actually try to exploit all of these industry segments.
And what are the competition that you are seeing? Because we have seen lots of small startups, small and big startups, especially in this space. So in Pakistan as well outside.
So in Pakistan, we think there's two main players at the moment, Recult and Bakhabar Kisan. But look, I'll be very honest with you. I don't think anyone in Pakistan is focusing on the fundamental underlying problem, which is reduction in waste and increase in productivity. Recult are an agri-fintech. They dabble with analysis, but they don't really go beyond that. Bakhabar Kisan is really an information dissemination type of service. They usually kind of provide weather advice and things like that on text. If you look at regionally, there's been some good success stories in India. One of the companies actually, which only started sort of 7 years ago, is now kind of a unicorn. And similarly, there's some good success stories in the rest of the world as well. What we've tried to do is learn from these companies, see actually what they do really well, incorporate it into our platform and our offering, and actually tweak it and tailor it for Pakistan.
Okay. Any other question?
I'll go next. Excellent presentation, Bilal, one of the best we have seen today. One question: what is your coverage cost per acre? For example, there are set and scan that should be quite costly.
It depends. So at the moment, we're making roughly around 80% margins when we deal with B2B clients. We actually make EBITDA. We are EBITDA positive, and we're not too far away from actually being net bottom line positive. So yes, it's costly, but what we found is actually that there is such a hunger for data in Pakistan from the B2B side that they're actually willing to pay premium prices for it. Our average revenue per user at the moment is roughly $11,000.
All right. Any more question? I see Hossein raised his hand before.
Yeah, I just wanted to know about the
or do you have
farmers. I mean, how it will be in Pakistan. It's a difficult challenge. How the digital accessibility would work for the farmers.
Sure. Look, I think I come from a farming background myself. I've been involved in farming directly for 5 years, where we produce, package, and export our own produce from Rahim Khan to the UAE and to the UK. So we understand farmers really, really well. What we are doing is focusing on farmers' pain points. And basically, there's two major pain points that farmers have. Number one, Pakistan is becoming increasingly water scarce. And access to water means people have to pump water and spend either electricity or diesel to pump water. When that happens, they actually waste 75% of the water when they flood irrigate the field, right? Our water stress reports give them a really low-tech way of saving 50% of their water bill, right? So when we went to, for example, Sindh Abadgar, which is Pakistan's largest farmer cooperative, every single farmer there had water issues, literally every single farmer there. We went to their general meeting and we said, look, if we give you a report for free that allows you to segment your field, water some parts, don't water other parts, and save 50%, would you be interested in actually using that? And we wholeheartedly, everyone agreed to it. Another big problem is soil testing in Pakistan. It's very painful for especially your sort of smallholder farmer. And what we have is a cloud-connected real-time soil sensor. And what we offer is basically a soil test, which you get the results of immediately through our app, literally in real time, for only 50 rupees or 100 rupees, something like that, but less than $1 basically. And we initially advertised this service on some select WhatsApp groups and some Facebook pages, and we were overwhelmed by the response. Like, we had to take the ads down in 3 hours because we were just struggling with call volumes. So there are ways in which we can approach the farmer in Pakistan and actually capture their imagination. We basically get rid of their pain points for free. and we give them solutions that are not high tech. They don't need to invest anything on their side. So we're very confident that we'll be able to attract farmers in Pakistan.
Awesome. Awesome. I wish you very good luck. Thank you.
Yeah, great. All right, so that's the final presentation. Congratulations to all the startups, and thank you so much for presenting and patiently answer all the questions. To all our judges, the voting link will close in, let's say, 2 to 3 minutes. But yeah, you can change your vote during this time, and you can vote for the final time, and then we will be announcing the results shortly. So please give us a thumbs up sign once you are done voting all the teams, and then we can start calculating.
I think that almost every judge did their grading after each presentation, but nevertheless, the ones who have changed their mind because there were too many startups, and some of them are really they were really good, and just the nuances were between them. So I think it was a really great event, really successful one.
Yeah, absolutely. So please, yeah, let us know if the 3 judges have raised their hand. Okay, great. So yeah, I believe all the judges have voted. Kate, yes, you can close the voting links, and you can let me know the results.
Meanwhile, can we have a picture if everyone can turn their camera on?
Yeah, great.
While the results are coming up.
Yes, I was about to suggest that if everyone could please turn on their cameras so we can take a quick picture.
Live stick, add me.
All right, done. We have taken the pictures. Since we're waiting for the final result, I'd just like to take the opportunity to thank all the judges.
Thank you, Fahim, for inviting us for this event.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, thank you so much for your time and for your commitment, and thank you so much for sharing your valuable feedback and insights to all our startups. And I hope we can connect you with some of them, and hope we can work together closely. Before the results announced, I would really appreciate if all the judges can share 1 or 2 minute quick feedback to our startups. I really appreciate that. We can go alphabetically. Ms. Iram can go first.
Okay. So my view is that generally speaking, all the pitches were amazing. The ideas were amazing. They all had identified the true problem, because I have seen at many competitions, there are startups coming up who don't even have a clear problem and a solution interconnected. So I didn't observe any such things over here. So the ideas, the problems were well identified, and the solutions were developed. Some pitches needed more improvement in terms of presentation, but otherwise, and there were some ideas who needed more refinement as well. Maybe they are quite new, but I would say that none of them was at such a level that we can say that they were not up to the mark. So even the one who wins, obviously, congratulations to that in advance, but those who are not winning, all the startups who are here are winners, because they have taken the initiative to come up to this global platform and present. So I think that itself is a big round of applause for everyone. So I would like to give a clap on that for everyone.
Thank you so much, Ms. Iram. We can go to Mr. Anis.
I before you elaborate the business value of any startup, I appreciate the thinking behind it, and that is to innovate and find a solution to something. Uh, what I like about this approach is that it takes business forward. All the startups who are here today, they are taking a leap of faith. They are adding value some way. There will be no losers today because everybody will learn something from their experience. And I think all of them will carry on and become unicorns in their own respective industry.
Thank you so much, Mr. Anis. We can go to Dr. Komal.
Yeah, thank you so much, Fahim, for having me here. And I would really like to share that one thing that I would want to appreciate is the passion that they all have to think beyond the certain comfort zone and do something innovative and incredible. So I think this is a thing that people should have. And I really want more people to come up with these sort of ideas and innovative things. And wish you all the best for these incredible projects. And just remember that it's not the ending, it's just the start of something very beautiful, something very innovative. And see you all accomplishing great things in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mr. Gaju.
Well, thanks for the opportunity in the first place. What I can say, it was really, I was really amazed by the quality of the ideas, and of course with the approach of each startup in their respective industry. Some of them were really impressive during the presentation, even though they lacked a bit of development of idea. Nevertheless, I can surely say that the ones that I noticed as a favoring this event could be on par with some unicorns in the world in terms of elaboration of their project, determination, as my colleague judges already mentioned, and just the nuances were that decided which one startup was going to get the highest grade. And for me, I think this is really a nice opportunity to meet the best of startup ecosystem that Pakistan has to offer. So I wish all the participants success. Nevertheless, as my colleagues mentioned, if you don't succeed at this event, then you will have the opportunity to participate in another events within the startup network or any other startup event that can just give you the slight idea what you have learned so far to appreciate and apply into the next event. So we don't have much insight within your business aside of what you have show us within your presentation and how much you were determined into the presenting your idea. Nevertheless, I think just focus on what is the most important within your project, you know, taking the financial part, product development, and what is your niche within your industry and what you're generally trying to grasp within your vision. So I wish you all the best in the future endeavor, and hopefully we are going to have another event such as this one. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mr. Azim.
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to be part of this, esteemed panelists of judges. Really nice to hear all of their insights and their feedback, and also listening to all the startups with their great ideas. Rightly said that every startup has pointed out the real problems, done their lot of work, but startup and being an entrepreneur is a journey. And like everyone is saying that this, if someone loses today, or there is no winner or losers today, actually, it's just a part of your learning, and it's a step towards going far beyond. So keep learning and keep working hard towards your ideas, and you have a huge horizon in front of you.
All right. Can we go to Mr. Ahmad Mazur?
Thanks for having me here. Actually, the thing is, actually, everybody has said that there is no winners or losers right here. But consistency is important. You need to be consistent at your work, and wonderful ideas. Everybody have presented wonderfully. So hope for the best, and best of luck with a lot of best wishes and prayers for you all for your future. Jazakallah.
Can we please go to Mr. Ahmad Munzur? Sorry, my connection just cut off.
Okay, actually, I've already talked. Actually, I was talking about that there are no winners and losers here in competitions. You always learn, and consistency is the main point actually for everybody. So you need to be very consistent with your ideas, with your pitch, with everything, and you move forward with a lot of prayers from all of us, from all of the judges actually, and Jazakallah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Two more judges left, Husnain and then Mr. Tanvir.
Thank you very much, Fahim. Thank you very much, all the judges who have joined today, who has given the opportunity to all of us to learn from each other and just the next big things, the next big challenges or the current challenges of our society. And I really want all these startups to go badass. If it scratches your own itch, there you go. You have your startup, you have your next big thing, you have your next billion-dollar company if it scratches your own itch. And most of these startups, I have seen this, that they started with the problem that they had it personally. I would repeat the same, guys, never give up. It's just one step, with one step, you go there, you get there. So just never give up. The VCs are raining money in Pakistan. I know a few angel investors and other VCs as well. Let me know if you guys want to connect. Guys, never give up. Be more mature. Learn from your peers. Learn from the industry leaders. Learn from the judges that are here. Connect with them. Connect like crazy. Guys, this is your key. Right now, most of the startups are bootstrapping. So my key takeaway would be to network like crazy. Go to the industry and meet with people, right? So guys, it was lovely. It was a lovely time with you, and I'm really in love. Had a very deep connection, a personal connection with I think a few startups here. I would like to mention, like, I'm from a farming family, and my father is into agriculture since decades, since my forefathers. So, and the other few startups as well. So those startups really touched my heart and mind. And guys, make some feelings, put some personal feelings in the startups and put that in front of the judges. It's all about feelings, guys. We are humans. So these are some key takeaways. And again, thank you very much for having me. And I wish you all good luck and never give up. Thank you. Be badass.
Thank you so much for those takeaways, Husnain. And lastly, Mr. Tanvir.
Thank you, Fahim. I think very well spent time. I think it was we're just touching at 2.5 hours now, and we enjoyed every moment of that. I think, and thank you to all those contributors. I think they have made a fantastic contribution by participating in this. And I think they've got a much diversified group. We have people starting who's been doing their A levels and coming up with their novel ideas of beehives, and then we've got ex-McKinsey PE team over there, so doing the Zamidar and Farmer sort of things. So and we have a healthcare solution to the farming, and from farming to the financials, and so on and so forth. So enjoyed every bit of that. I think it is something which is helping the Pakistan ecosystem of the startups. I think each one of you, the judges, for Fahim and his team, as well as the startups who were there, who took their time out to present there. I always wish I would have been born in this era. This is a lovely era to be. We really struggle to see how can we could have done those things. I'm 50 plus, so I can imagine the young lot and the passion that they have. So, and I'm frankly telling you, it's much easier for the judges to ask questions, right? So it's fun to be on this side of the table, but it's so brave of you, each one of you who have been able to take up those questions, each one of us, and I think you have done a fantastic job. Winning and losing goes on and on, so that's not a big issue. But yes, this experience going through this particular 2.5 hours, listening to the other startups, and then also preparing. When someone who has actually spoken up, so they are very much more relieved, and those who are coming in the end, they're more tensed up. So that actually helped that thing all in all. So well done all. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Tanvir. Right, we're gonna announce the results. Just a quick introduction for me. I'm currently pursuing my master's, but before that, in the past 3 years, I worked in the Whole Price Foundation. My last appointment was Asia Relationship Manager, where I built partnership in global context and help students enrich the experience of all the students. And I also had the pleasure to work with Horsemen. We both worked in the Whole Price global team, and also I was also had a chance to work with Miss Iram as well. She is also our university, DHS Sofia, is also one of our partners, along with one of the incubation hub. I'm sorry, I forgot his name.
It's Takhliq.
Intelab Incubation. Yeah, Takhliq Incubation Hub.
Yeah.
Takhliq Incubation Hub. So yeah, also like to congratulate them and want to thank them for their support. Right. It's been 2.5 hours. Yeah, exciting 2.5 hours. A lot of amazing presentations. So
I have
third
one
team.
thing to say.
The third team is Team Junk Online. Junk Online. They are the third team. Congratulations. The second, it's very interesting because it's a tie between two teams. Team Breathe LO and Solish AI Solution. They share the second place together. Congratulations, great work. All right, first team. Any guess? Any guess you want to write in the chat box?
It's getting easier now.
It's quite easy actually.
Famdar.
Yes, it's team. It's startup Farmdar. Yeah, they are the champion
Thank
of
you.
today's contest.
Thank you very much. Can I just say, actually, a lot of the ideas.
Yeah, sure. Floor is yours. If you could.
A lot of the ideas were absolutely amazing. I've been messaging people in the little chat box. There were some brilliant ideas today. So I think well done, everyone.
Yeah, thank you so much, and great presentation as well. And you will be participating in the nearest unicorn battle in Asia. The startup network team will reach out to you with more information. Also like to thank the startup network team. We have Kate and Lena here. Guys, would you like to share any quick any quick thoughts? They've been with us for last 2.5 hours as well, helping us with all this technical stuff. I don't think they're here. Probably they are somewhere else, but yeah, a big shout out to them, and we're grateful for their help as well. Yeah, and I've also shared my LinkedIn profile. Let's all get connected. It would be great if we can all stay connected and help each other and help the startups grow. So once again, thank you so much to all our honorable judges and to all the startups for doing a great job today. Yeah, and see you in a bit. See you in the next program.
Can I say something?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. There were some startups. As I said, it's not about winning and losing. It's the first step that they have taken. That itself is a winning direction. So there are some startups whom I would personally like to meet and mentor them and help them grow. Like we can polish them and we can grow. The ideas were amazing. So how to connect with them?
Oh yeah, sure. I can just let me know which are the startups. Same goes for the other judges as well. Just please let me know.
Great initiative, Iram. I think that's generally the question. When I elaborated previously, my idea, I wasn't so open to say it, but probably some of them, if they had a proper guidance, maybe the outcome of this event would be different. Just because they didn't focus on some things or just didn't highlight them because they were quite important, they probably could get better grading. Probably this would be a key moment for them for the next event, and of course additional things like growing them in terms of business case and making their idea fulfilled with a lot of details that are important for investors, and of course for their personal gain in terms of business development. So that would be just my, sorry for interrupting, Iram.
Yeah, actually, the same idea from my side, actually, like I'm a blockchain expert, so blockchain technology, that how people can use that in their projects, and like farmers and for the other medical things. So is something. So I also want to work with them if anybody can interest and connect me directly with them, so we can work together. Thank you.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, just let me know. You have my email, or I can directly email you and share their and connect them with you. That I think that would be the easiest way.
Yeah, thanks.
All right then. So thank you so much. It's quite. I think it's almost 10 in Pakistan in the local time. So thank you so much for your time, your commitment. We'll see you in the next program. Have a great day ahead.
Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot, Fahim.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Fahim.
Thank
All the best in the next month, and of course, looking forward to our collaboration in the
Thank
future.
you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you,
You
everyone.
too.
Thank you.
You too. All the best.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Have a great day.